This is going to be a war of ideas, even if it gets physical. It's going to be about who is seen in the right, who is going to be seen in the wrong. And as long as we have the population with us, we're going to win this war against globalists. But we have to tell that story. We have to explain the control grid, who the globalists are, what their plan is, what they've done. You explain to the public that cancer's up several thousand% from 50 years ago because they're putting cancer viruses in their shots, we're going to have the army we need. And then the dying's going to stop. We're under attack. We're under military attack. People just have to have the will to be able to admit how serious this is. Coming up at the 20 after next hour, I'm going to, for 40 minutes, break down just a small snapshot of the cashless society control grid, how it ties into cybersecurity. Okay? So I'm going to spend 40 minutes on this. I've done a lot of research, and that's coming up. We got this segment the next with Mike Rivero. I want to go to Kurt, Roger, Todd, Jeremy, Steve, and others. But, Peter, you know, as they teach in the military, I know if you're boots on the ground, they're probably not teaching you this, but the point is 90% of war is psychological. We do need to reach out to the military and police before it's too late, but a lot of them are on power trips that are too far gone, especially in police forces. And you know, training is fine and dandy, and it's great. But the problem is the feds are all over that type of training, insert their people who call for violence and send folks to prison. So if you are going to train with people you've known for years, people you trust, and call it a shooting club, a tactical shooting club, and don't make it all secret agent-y. You know, just, oh, we go out to the deer camp and, we do this. And you can, read up on the French Resistance and others and books like Total Resistance and Guerrilla Warfare. But this is an urban guerrilla warfare, so it's a little bit different. First thing I told the militia, stop wearing camouflage. I see them in the cities in camo. In the cities, camo is a sports jacket and a tie. And, you're real calm and, hi, how you doing? That's things that were went to that. That's your uniform, folks. It's a button-up shirt and, hi, how you doing? You better, well, I don't want to get into that. The point is that we don't want to sit there and think too much even about going to that level. We want to try to stop things politically. And things will work themselves. I mean, Mike Rivero, before I go back to the caller to finish up, any comments on what we're saying?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we need to avoid violence as long as possible because violence will only justify further repression by the government. We know the government likes to plant people within the peace movement to be violent so the media can attack us. I mean, look at all these so-called phony terrorist groups that were set up by the FBI informants. This is just the way the other side likes to play. And so we need to avoid getting sucked into that.
But now they get caught. Now they get caught. I mean, it took us years to expose that 93 was a fake deal and that 96 was a fake deal in Miami. Now it comes out in days. It's totally fake with the FBI leading the group, commanding it, and it comes out that cops everywhere from Canada to England to the U.S. dress up like anarchists to discredit the peaceful demonstrators. I mean, the truth's coming out.
Yeah, absolutely. We're a much more educated and sophisticated society, and I think our greatest hope for the future is that the powers that be, let me rephrase that, the powers that imagine they are, still don't get how the entire world has been changed by the alternative media and by the blogging sphere. They don't understand. We're much more aware, sophisticated, and skeptical.
And they can even try to shut the web down now as they're openly announcing. It's still too late. It's over. Everybody knows you're criminal liars. Anything else, Peter?
Yeah, wasn't there excuse me for not remembering his name, there was a general, American general, who was a Medal of Honor recipient from World War I, and prior to World War II, wasn't there a...
Smedley Butler.
In America?
Smedley.
Exactly. And how did he get to that position? I'm sure all he did was keep his oath, keep his mouth shut, not scream 9/11 was an inside job every 20 seconds. Do your job, and when it comes down, and you know what's going on, and the order comes down, that's when you do it. But if you're labeled, oh, you're that guy, instead of just, I'm just doing my job.
No, great point. Butler went along till the very last minute, and then he blew the whistle on him. You got a great point. We need sleepers as well in the info war. So be that sleeper.
Thank you for listening to GCN. Visit GCNlive.com today.
What can you do to keep you and your family safe from the resistant new strains of deadly bacteria and viruses? Check out supernaturalsilver.com today. or visit the link on Infowars.com to find out more about this incredible new silver compound. The new silver solution is a natural antibiotic that is clinically tested to kill viruses, germs, bacteria, and yeast safely. This new technology has proven itself to be a formidable weapon against bio threats of today and tomorrow. The new silver solution gel has been shown to disinfect topically and keep the area sanitized for up to 4 hours. The new silver solution is a highly effective, potent nanoparticle solution that is lethal to bacteria, yeast, and viruses. Go to supernaturalsilver.com and see the amazing line of products they have available. Check out the patented new silver solution today. Click on the link and check out the uses for new silver solution. Order this extra line of defense today by going to supernaturalsilver.com. That's supernaturalsilver.com today.
Waging war on corruption. Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network. Big Brother, mainstream media, government cover-ups. You want answers? Well, so does he. He's Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network. And now, live from Austin, Texas, Alex Jones.
Final segment with Mike Rivera. Yes, there is something to be said, as the last caller was saying, from Iraq, the military, to keeping your oath, but keeping quiet, and the shoe really drops saying no. And a lot of troops have done that with these experimental vaccines. You know, they say it's the law, we can give you whatever we want. No, not if it's experimental. That's like, what was really telling was 6 years ago, Mike Rivera, when they ordered 14 million first responders, firemen, police, medical workers, county city workers to take the smallpox shot. And the LA Times reported 2 years into that only 4,000 of 14 million had done it. 99.9% had said no. And then Tommy Thompson wouldn't even take it. I mean, I think they can set up this grid and push it all, but as push comes to shove, this is really going to blow up in their face.
Well, it depends on what the agenda is. A lot of this vaccination and pushing these medications, it's just really about justifying giving a lot more tax dollars to the pharmaceutical industries. I mean, we saw that with this whole swine flu brouhaha. I mean, obviously, given the number of people actually sick and dying from this flu, it shouldn't have been headline-grabbing news, but it did justify a lot of purchases of vaccines. And the other awareness, of course, is that a lot of these vaccines really are oftentimes more dangerous than the actual disease they're supposed to protect you from. Look back at the 1976 swine flu outbreak. More people died from the vaccine than from the flu itself.
You're absolutely right about that. Let's take another call here from Kurt in Texas. Kurt, you're on the air. Go ahead.
This is a subject you covered back last week. I couldn't get in to talk to you. I was at Walmart, and when I started checkout, there was a lady had a child that was acting up. And I happened to comment to the cashier that during the time I was raised, if I threw a fit like that, my dad would take off his belt and swat me. And she says, oh, she became very talkative. She said, we're told at company meetings that if we see the parent swat the child with their hand or lay one violent act toward them, shake them, or anything like that, to call Child Protective Services immediately. And if
I wanted to back you up.
Call the police.
Let me back you up. I see articles all over the country where a mother grabs the child and says, stop it. And police show up, and then it's always a footnote that surveillance cameras. So the whole society is little spy tattletales. They're not looking for you stealing stuff half the time. The employees do 2/3 of the stealing. That's their own numbers. It's all about, what's that T-shirt say? Well, oh, did they just spank that child? Like, stop that. I told you no with that toy. The kids got to get out of control so they can put them on Ritalin and Prozac so the cops can then taser them. So she was proud of the fact that, oh, we're told to tattle to Homeland Security, Walmart.
Yes.
Was she proud of herself?
Services.
Was she proud of herself?
Oh, yes, seemed like it. She's very talkative about how they had told them to watch out, and if they see any parents shaking or hollering at the children or swatting them with their hands or something in the store, to call Child Protective Services immediately. And I thought, goodness, my father's dead, if he had been alive, he'd probably been in jail years ago.
Well, no, that's the issue is, and these sociologists and psychiatrists run everything now. They know it's going to